Welcome to another lesson. First of all, I just want to congratulate you for making it this far in the course. The statistics are clear. Most people, they buy a course and almost no one listens to it. In fact, less than 10% actually makes it halfway through a course like this one. So I congratulate you because I really know that you're committed to getting pay rises and really own your career and take charge of your life, take back control, and really be proactive. Like, what do you really want? And you're willing to take the actions that are necessary to do that. So I congratulate you. Well done. I'm so proud of you. And today we're going to talk about becoming more valuable. Now, valuable is very subjective. Like, certain people value something, but other people may not. But when it comes to your career, value is actually more objective because you can use things like money and time to quantify the value that you provide to your company. Now, what's really important is to become irreplaceable, to make yourself more valuable. And you do this by being proactive. And here's the word again, be proactive. This is the number one thing that successful people have that less successful people don't. People who are not so successful, who don't get the pay rises that they really want, usually they're not really proactive. They wait for their manager to tell them what to do. They don't start their own project. They're not a self-starter. So by you becoming really proactive, it will help you to become more valuable and to provide more value to your workplace. And ultimately, that's what's going to give you pay rises. When you provide value, and the pay rise is just a fraction of that to give you back part of the value that you provided to your company. There's no such thing anymore like a free lunch. You work hard hours and long hours, but that's a prerequisite of any job and it's not going to get you anywhere, that mentality. But just, yes, I did everything that my manager told me to. Yes, that's great, but did you do something extra? No. Well, why would you expect an extra salary increase if you didn't do anything extra? Why would they give it to you? They're not going to do it. And the same thing if you're going to work for another company. If they don't see the value that you provided in all of your previous positions, it's not going to happen. So how do you become more valuable? Well, it comes back to the quantifiables that I told you earlier. It's about you can help your company to save time, you can help them to save money, you can help them to save cost, or you can help them to save energy. However you choose, if you do one of those things, it's a value to a company because any company wants to save costs, right? Because the lower the cost, the higher the profit margin and the better the company looks. And the same for your manager. If you can cut down costs and time, that's linked in all probability to your manager's bonus. So if you can add that value, your manager's more inclined to want to keep you and reward you for that effort. Another thing you can do to become more valuable is to increase productivity and motivation and output. Like maybe, currently your team has like 10 people, but you find a way to make it more effective. So now you can increase your productivity and now you only need 9 people or 8 people. Or, you can maybe, in the previous lesson, I gave you this example, maybe a reporting time frame was 21 days and you can cut it down to like 11 days or 10 days. So there's many ways and things that you can increase that will help your company and that can justify a pay rise. Another thing you can do is to improve efficiencies, processes, balance sheet recs, and other things. The more you can do that, the more value you provide to your company as well. And companies are always looking for ways that they can improve things. And in fact, if you're going to, look for other jobs and you're at a certain level, usually management is being hired to create this process efficiency. If you're still at the bottom of the pyramid, it's such a great exercise. If you can already start to create a mindset for creating process efficiencies, your career is going to skyrocket because it's a key task and a key skill that every company is looking for. Another thing that you can do to become more valuable is to reduce errors, penalties, fees, mistake, turnover. Maybe your department sees, people leaving every 6 months. But if you can make it more fun that people will stay 9 or 10 months, that significantly reduces turnover, and companies love that. The truth is that the number one cost for almost any company out there is labor, it's HR, and especially training new staff. Like, have you ever been in a position where, you had to hire someone, or maybe you were hired, and you train that person, or you were trained for 3 months, and then you quit, or the person you trained quit? It's 3 months waste of time that you now have to spend on training someone else. If you can help your company to make those people stay longer because the job is more suitable, or you create proper interview questions that people really love this kind of job, that's a huge value to a company. And here's your homework that I love you to do. By the way, they call it homework, but let's call it fun work. Like, it's not meant to be like that. It's meant to be fun as well. Like, yeah. So question number 1, how can you save your company money, time, and energy? Have a think about it. Brainstorm a couple of things that you can do to help your company save that. Question 2, how can you increase productivity? And if you're not sure what productivity means, in a simple sentence, it's getting stuff done in less time. It's like condensing time. It's producing more in the same amount of time. Question number 3, what processes can you improve? Now, some companies don't have any processes at all. So in that case, what processes can you actually create and set up? And this looks great on your resume. Let's say you go for an interview for another job and ask you, okay, like, what are the processes you created or improved? And you said, well, in my previous role, there was nothing, and I created this manual, like, with all of the processes of every single job in my department. Like, your recruiter or the new company, they'll be like, wow, we need someone like that, with that self-starter and initiative mentality. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Make sure you do the homework, and I'll see you in the next one.